Zhang Xin is often regarded as the world's one of the most powerful female entrepreneurs. She is the CEO and co-founder of SOHO China, a real estate developer. CGTN's Callebs caught up with her at Bloomberg Global Business Forum last week, and he began by asking about SOHO China's role in environmentally friendly architecture.
There were times in Beijing we were covered by pollution, and there were times the pollution level was so high. So we then asked ourselves, what can we do? So we have all these buildings, and what we did is we had installed a system that would reduce 40% of energy consumption. And what we did is basically we found this computer programming company that would put sensors all over the building. So whenever you wouldn't feel it as a someone walking, because as soon as you get out of this corridor, and then they would find a way to shut or reduce the energy, and that way, without you knowing it, it's actually reduced 40% of the energy consumption. So that was very good, and it really came from pollution, and then we're thinking about how do we save energy, what can we do? And then later, we joined, Bill Gates started a energy breakthrough fund, so we joined that as one of the Chinese investors. That is run as a fund, but is really targeting early stage R&D, with products. So it's when Bill called everyone and said that, look, there's not enough money going into the early stage R&D, then we all face these issues. Can we all come in to help? So we all went in I think he had probably 25 of us all joined his fund doing it. And now it's been running the second year.
It's the next great idea. I mean, that's where it's going to come.
We just need new ideas coming to, if we really want to tackle these issues, we need technology to help.
What do you think it says about the U.S. saying it's going to pull out of the Paris Accord? It certainly doesn't send a good message.
But it doesn't send a message, because we are facing this issue. It is, and it's air, right? It's energy, right? We all share this. We need the global community to all participate in this.
I want to talk a bit about the tariffs, the trade issue worldwide. Obviously, with your business dealings, it's something you follow very closely. How is it being perceived, not just in China, but around the world?
I was just checking the numbers and see that, right? So last year, China's exports to the U.S. was $505 billion, which accounts for 4.5% of Chinese GDP. So economically, it is not that big of a deal. You think about it, even with the tariffs, it goes down to 20%. It probably translates into a GDP is like 1%. Or less than 1%. So that it's not a big deal that way, but it is a big deal politically. Somehow it has attracted a lot of attention, and it's created a lot of political tension, which is unfortunate because no one wants to see, dialogue has been broken. Essentially, there's, all the meetings been stopped, and we all want to see trade because trade is ultimately good for everyone. But unfortunately, this has really been politicized to the point that it's taken completely out of the economic context.
You have to be an inspiration for so many people in China. Very humble beginnings, Cultural Revolution. You've got out to Hong Kong and you realize there's this amazing world out there, and you've really, grabbed it and seized. I don't want to label you, but what do you think it means to young women to look to someone like you in China and say, I want to be the next Ms. Zhang?
Well, I think it's been, I now run a SOHO China scholarship, which provides financial aid to Chinese students attending undergraduate degrees in Harvard, Yale. This year we have 45 SOHO scholars. So it's great to see these scholars, and because I was once a financial aid student, and now I'm in a position to provide financial aid for other Chinese students. Right? I often wonder, how many of them would one day be doing what I do. Obviously they live in a different time, and the opportunities will be different. But I think I see them ambitious, idealistic, and all want to do something great, and I'm really impressed by the younger generation.